And welcome to day 36 of our online Facebook COVID yoga practice. As I warm up our session, come into your regular breath, come into a comfortable seated position, keep your props, blocks. We will be doing a yin type of position. We will be moving in a hatha type of way. So right, left, rather than going through a flow. And we will be holding some of our positions for an extended period of time. And of course, breathing deeply continuously. So as we begin, feel the balloon in your belly, feel it expanding, feel the periphery, north, south, east, west, and beyond. Feel that orb. Feel that universe that you are creating in your belly, and feel that ascension into the lungs, expanding the ribs, and feel the natural wave once it rolls up the sternum into the clavicular, the thoracic regions, and the empty cavities in the cranium, some of us more than others. And of course, that Sahasrara chakra space at the top of the head. Feel the wave, introducing an Ujjayi breathing technique, contracting the glottis. Inhaling through the nose, extending the exhale to be twice as long. And keep this breath throughout your practice. When you're ready, let's warm up and unite the body with the breath. Releasing the hands, inhaling arms up, palms facing up, eyes at the elbows open, shoulders down, touching the tips of the fingers. Just start to introduce that synchronicity. It's important to have a little bit of a regime at the beginning. So let the body slow down. Let this be our introductory movement. Let this be the keyhole, the turning of the key in the lock, accessing all that is within. Continuing to breathe very slowly, feeling the balloon in your belly, feeling the sensations moving through your body. And if at any time you need to change your position, feel free to do so. The definition of yoga is steady, comfortable positions. On a physical level, mental level, it is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. Inhale up just halfway this time. Let's hold here for a moment. Get acquainted with gravity. How long does your relationship last before you start to feel like this guy or this gal doesn't want to be hanging around here so much right now? How soon does gravity start to weigh on you? Just observe without judgment. Continuing to breathe into your belly with every inhale, lengthening your spine, finding space between the vertebrae. Keep the shoulders dropping, keep the fingers reaching out. That will give you power. Open the eyes of your elbows, and when you're ready, bending left fingers first, dropping the right palm down, finding the sweet spot on the outside of the right temple, and nodding yes, chin into the chest. That positive mantra, echoing, resonating through the body. Nice and deep. On your next exhale, keep the chin glued into the chest. Drop the arm. And let's take a little sniff of the armpit. So bring your nose towards your armpit and almost trying to drop it down. And breathing nice and deeply. Appreciating this quarantine time with lack of deodorant usage amongst the human population. And when you're ready, quarter circles, let's drop the chin, drop that chin down to the chest and quarter circle up, nice and slow. Feel that full range of motion and explore, where do you start to lose your focus?
And where does it come back? Follow the muscle on your next inhale. Tuck the chin into the chest and inhale everything up again. Find that T position, shoulders down, eyes at the elbows open. Relax your feet, relax your legs, relax your bum. What we do to one side, of course, we always do to the opposite side. So finding the sweet spot in the temple, dropping the fingers, planting the palm, wherever you may find yourself. And of course, use a block. Forgive me. Use a block if your hand does not come comfortably down. Give it some stability. And nodding chin into the chest. Facilitating movement with breath. Don't move unless your breath is the vehicle. Inhaling as you come up, expanding the balloon in your belly, and exhale as you come down. So you do not change the direction of your movement until you have hit that full capacity of that giant and expanding balloon in your belly. When you're ready on your next exhale, let's drop the chin to the chest, drop the hand to the breath. Looking sort of northwest, southwest, direction, kind of right in between, continuing to breathe very deeply. And when you're ready, chin coming down, finding the space and leading from the chin, almost as though the bottom of the palate, of the throat to the mouth, that's what's kind of scraping along the chin. On your next exhale, chin down to the chest, lock it, and inhale, arms up, shoulders down. Find yourself again in that T-shaped position. Take one breath here and let's stretch out the shoulders. So our left elbow coming in front of the chest, right hand connecting against the left elbow. One breath each here and release. Big inhale and exhale, opposite elbow, opposite hand, and release. Again, out to the side, overhead this time. Hand to the elbow, pulling it down and open. Inhaling up, opposite elbow, and open. Inhale, both arms up, both hands into the elbow. Make a little picture frame for yourself, shoulders down. And exhale, fold into the left. Try to keep the hips flat, so you're just stretching out the thoracic spine. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, opening the arms, interlacing the fingers, bringing them behind the head, elbows closing the gate. And exhale, chin to the chest, elbows following. And just the top 7 vertebrae, just the clavicular spine. Breathing here for a few deep breaths. Keep the chin tucked into the chest. And when you're ready on your next inhale, coming up, releasing the hands again out to the side, interlace the fingers behind, push them down, shoulders down, arms lifting. I will move just to demonstrate. You can stay in the same position. Once you have found your edge, forward fold and exhale, bringing your head down. And breathing here. A few deep breaths. Still just in our warm-up phase. On your next inhale, lifting the head, dropping, releasing the hands, dropping the fingers down, pointing towards you. And inhale, lift. We'll keep the knees open to the side, pushing into the hands, pushing down to the shoulders. Keep the chin down into the chest. Slight arch in the lower back. And exhale, coming down. Adjust your feet if you need to. We are going to sit here for a moment longer to do some alternative nostril breathing. Take a moment to come back to natural breath. Nadi Shodha Pranayama. If you're familiar, you can begin. Otherwise, I will explain the first, demonstrate the second, and we'll do the third round together. Everyone else, please begin. And of course, on our 36th day of COVID, it is the first day of Ramadan. So Ramadan Kareem to anyone and everyone who is celebrating the holy month of fasting. Right hand up, second and third finger bent, right thumb comes to the right nostril, exhaling completely. And when you're ready, inhaling left. Pay attention to how long. Close and hold for the same amount. So if you inhaled for 3, hold for 3, and then open the right and exhale for 6. Twice as long. So we're having with Kumbhaka, with our breath retention. When you get to the bottom of the breath, hold for 6. And again, inhale, paying attention. It may not be 3 this time. It may go to 4 or 5. Try to match 5, 5, 10, 10, 6, 6, 12, 12. Keep your breath expansion. Keep it deepening as you go through the cycles. I will do this one with you with hand movement when you're ready. And of course, at your own pace. Finishing your last round, coming to the end of the last cycle, exhaling completely. And when you're ready, bring both hands down to the knees and just take a moment, close your eyes, feel the effects of the practice on the body. As the legs have been bent, let's come into a nice modified Paschimottanasana. So inhale, opening the legs all the way out. Should be about 90 degrees, but if that feels a little bit excessive, you can adjust. Of course, if you need to lift the hips, if you want to make yourself a little bit more comfortable, you can even sit in a low chair and increase the backward fold. So you can see I'm on a little platform here, so I may just come to the edge of my platform. Sorry to disturb the little puppy, princess puppy sleeping, so I'll put myself on an angle slightly. Or of course you can sit on a block. There's no need to elevate the hips, but it does help with that downward fold. It does help to open the hips. And if you're finding that your legs don't go buttock mining, lift, open the femurs, and exhale down. So we're going to come into a 3-minute as our first yin pose. So inhaling, arms up, shoulders down. And with a nice straight back, let's reach forward. Hands can come to the knees, the ankles, the toes, wherever they comfortably find themselves. Lengthen the spine and exhale. Let the head hang down. Let the weight of the body pull your spine down. And remember your 3 different tenets of a Yin Yoga practice. The first being time. 3 minutes is a very good first Yin position. If you'd like to stay longer, of course, in any of the positions, or shorter, you are more than welcome. Finding stillness. So though it may take a minute or two to inch yourself into the position as I'm demonstrating, once you're there, try to be still. And where is there? Well, there is your edge, the third principle of Yin. So time, stillness, and your edge. That is just over 1 minute. Breathing into the upper backs of your lungs. And you can begin to visualize how the breath enters the body, whether it's through the orifices in the face, whether it's through the crown, Sahasrara chakra, whether it's through the pores, through osmosis. Visualize, get creative, or just let it happen. Don't expect anything. Don't try to control. Just observe what your body, what your mind, what that Akashic space is revealing to you, that sort of every eternal sort of space in combination with the great void. That's 2 minutes. We'll hold for another minute longer. Feeling the wave in your body, feeling the expansion in your lungs, feeling the relaxation of your spine. And feel your body melting deeper into the pose as time passes. Allow our friend gravity to ease us into the pose rather than resisting. On your next inhale, keep the chin tucked into the chest, slowly rolling the body back up, vertebrae by vertebrae. And we'll come into a counter pose. So keep your block nearby. We'll bring our feet together into Konasana, a butterfly position. If you would prefer to have the legs up or straight, that's absolutely fine. For me, I will check Konasana. Check your measurements. So the hands about 6 inches or so away from the hips, or where and place them the edge of the block right where the heels of the hands line up. If you need to adjust it at any time, feel free. I'm putting mine in the center of my shoulder blades. Some people prefer it a little bit closer to the sacrum, others in the mid-back. Wherever you are, we are going to hold this for 3 minutes. So find your place of comfort. Inhaling, arms up, shoulders down. You can use a block to support your neck, or again, let the gravity gently lengthen the skin, as long as you don't have any neck injuries. And holding here. And to breathe very deeply. That's just over 1 minute, about a minute and a half. We'll hold it for the same amount of time remaining. And by now, you should feel the pockets of space opening up. The easy ones come first, but be patient. The best ones come right at the moment you need them. Another few breaths here. And when you are ready, let's start to bring the arms up, bending the elbows, finding the hands interlacing behind the head. Bring those elbows together again, chin into the chest. We've seen this before. We've just altered the dimensions of the body slightly, so get a little bit deeper in this breath, both deeper into the spinal stretch, deeper into the breath. And when you are ready, let's inhale completely, curling up. Bring the hands down. And let's just push ourselves forward. We'll come right into Konasana, butterfly position. And if your legs aren't there yet, bring them there now. And again, 3 minutes. And breathe. Try to let the crown of your head face in the direction of the ground. Relax your shoulders. And if you're wanting a bit of a deeper stretch, you can start to work your forearms onto the ground underneath your ankles, your calves, your shins, and breathe here. Up to 1 minute. By now, you'll feel the phase change in the body. Taking more territory with your breath. It's about a minute and a half, halfway there. Again, start to feel the phase change in the body, the release of the hyaluronic acid, the activation of the fascia, the circulation of the prana. Continue to feel that wave rolling both within the body, touching on all of the internal organs and on the periphery of the spine, the edge of your skin expanding. And when you're ready on your next inhale, releasing the position and very slowly starting to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Last thing to come up is the head, the neck, and a little bit of a counter pose. So let's place the hands behind us, fingers towards the feet. Plant the sole down, feet hip width apart. We'll do a reverse tabletop. So when you're ready, inhaling, lift. Keep the chin into your chest. Really, really lift up in your bum. Shoulders pushing down, heels pushing down. And exhaling down. One more time, we'll hold it a little bit longer when you're ready. Inhaling, lift. Keep the chin in your chest. Keep the palms and that first knuckle activating the weight. Keep the balloon in your belly expanding. And when you're ready, exhale down. This time, let's try to kick a little bit. And oops, move the block that's behind you. But kick a little bit and bring your legs straight, still lifting. And last time, inhaling up. Keep the chin to the chest. Let's breathe deeply here. And as we exhale, go forward. And as we do, we stretch out the front of the wrist, stretch out the heel, stretch out the foot. And if you're able, you can come right on. Oh, look at that. The block is blocking. Perfect. Block is doing its job. So you can come right up onto the fingers and the toes. And you're kind of just sitting on almost one finger, couple fingers and couple toes, not even all of them. So just feel that balance. And then exhale, coming back. And let's come into a seated position. We'll stretch out the legs. Bring the left heel into the groin. Right leg out nice and long. Relaxed but active. Turn the torso to the bent leg. Inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, elbows open, tips of the fingers touching. And same hand to the same foot. Stay open, wide. Getting a nice side stretch here, so whether you have your hand to the foot, ankle otherwise, or bringing your elbow into the knee, getting a slight twist, looking up, and let's hold. Arm is reaching up, being pushed back and lengthening over. 3 movements simultaneously happening within our mind, within our focus. And let your body melt down. We won't stay here for quite as long, but still you can find a bit of space. And inhale, lift and lean back. So planting the palm and inhaling up. Again, tuck your chin into the chest. Point your toes of your lengthening foot. Push your hips forward. And exhale down. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So bringing the heel in nice and tight. Turning the torso towards the bent leg. Inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, tips of the fingers touching. And exhaling. Again, find your edge. It may not be the same as the opposite side. It may not be the same as it was yesterday, and it may not be the same as it will be tomorrow. Nonetheless, respect where you are at this moment. Be where you are at this moment. and feel the chemical reaction of your consciousness awakening. For that too has some fluctuations that can be measured. Trying to relax yourself as you're in this position, finding those 3 different movements with the arm. And when you're ready, inhaling up, planting the palms, lifting, chin into the chest, hips forward, pointing the long legs, toe. And exhale, coming down. Now we're not going to come all the way. We'll come into a Virasana. So if you prefer Vajrasana, then we will be sitting on our heels. Otherwise, in Virasana, the heels are beside our hips. Wherever you are more comfortable, we're going to come into a child's position. And we are going to hold that for, again, 3 minutes, abiding by our classic yoga stance and traditions, the Yin style. So take a moment to find the position, leaning back into it. And again, if you are in a Virasana, you can simply come back and just start to hold here. Otherwise, coming into a deeper back bend. And again, if at any point you feel discomfort, pain, or otherwise, come out of the position. At any point you want to go deeper or stay longer, feel free. Here, trying to keep the femurs aligned, trying to really relax the upper body. Paying attention to the small of the back, making sure it's not overly arched. Inevitably it will be, particularly if you are in Virasana. But try to compensate by pushing it down, and you can feel the corresponding movement in your legs, your knees lifting. And breathe deeply into the balloon in your belly. That's halfway. So start to breathe and find more pockets of space, more pockets of breath. Every breath, finding more space, every breath, stretching out the skin in the abdomen. Releasing any tension, whether physical or mental. Let it go with the expiration. Return it to the ether. It does not belong to you. And when you are ready, tucking the chin into the chest, using the elbows to shift your weight, walking up with the hands, and tilting yourself all the way forward, coming into a child's position. And we're going to hold here for 3 minutes. So you can adjust yourself here if the tips of the toes are touching. and your thighs are open to your belly. Otherwise, the legs can also be together, and you could be pressing the abdomen and the chest onto the legs, whichever is more comfortable for you. It may, of course, depend on which position you've just come from. And again, inhale, exhale, walking the hands forward. Allow your Ajna chakra to find the ground. You can use a block if you are not comfortably finding it, or if you'd like a little bit of a relaxation in the neck. Otherwise, when you're ready, let's hold. And here, very important to focus on that wave. Feel the wave of movement along your spine. Trying to keep the shoulders down at all times, away from the ears. That's 1 minute. Feeling the phase change in the body, trying to wiggle in a little bit deeper. Coming out of the position if you feel pain or discomfort, but reminding yourself that this too shall pass. It's just over 2 minutes. Enjoy melting into your body for another few breaths. Taking your last breath here. When you are ready, very slowly begin to walk the hands back, bringing the legs together if they were not together already. And let's just fold down to the side. Going into a nice side bend. So the right hand to the outside of the left leg, and the left arm just melting over. Feel the hip flexor opening. Feel the upper and lower body and where they meet. Feel that difference in the upana and the apana and the prana in the body. On your next inhale, let's lift. Again, plant those hands down. We'll come into a counter pose. So lifting, similar to what we did before, but this time, rather than pointing the toe and keeping it on the ground, let's try and lift it into a bit of a star position. If you're feeling a little bit more flexible, you can even come into a full bow position. So bending the foot back, pressing the hips forward, getting a nice deep stretch. And exhale, release. And coming back to center, doing the same thing on the opposite side. When you are ready, folding down to the opposite side, opposite hand to the opposite knee. Stretching, reaching, and just let the body melt here for a few breaths. Feel how quickly the body wants to open. And when you're ready, inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, planting the palm away from you, lifting, coming into our first pointed position, and then lifting slightly. If you'd like to make it a bit deeper, you can come into the bow position or a modification thereof. Inhale, releasing. And exhale, coming back down to center. Very good. Let's stretch the front of the ankles. Getting a bit of a balance. If you'd like to remove the hands, you're welcome. Stretching out the toes. So now curling them under. I adjust just to get you to see, hopefully. Don't forget that little guy right there. Putting the weight on the feet. Let the head hang down a little bit here as well. Give a few little semicircles or half circles to the neck. Roll the shoulders if you need. Stretch out the wrists, so come forward. Put the back of the hands on the ground so the fingers are pointing towards you. Just put a little bit of weight, not too much. Releasing the feet and trying to bring the hips down to the heels and stop where you find your edge. Be very tight here. And when you're ready, let's come into a tabletop just for a moment. Remember, your palms are spread. Your first knuckle takes the weight, lining up your joints, widening the chest, deepening your breath. When you're ready, let's start with the left leg lift. If you'd like to bring the right arm, you're welcome. We're not going to do much movement here. We're just going to set up for some more hip openers. So when you're ready, let's bring the leg into a shoelace position. So dropping the knee, pushing the knees towards each other, opening the feet, and exhale, pushing back. If you'd like your hips to hover in the air, this is a wonderful place to be. Otherwise, you can allow your bottom to touch the ground, and we're going to hold this for 5 deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. 0. Shift the weight forward. Let's lift that back leg. Swing it up, up to the front. Put it to the front edge of the mat. Let's just put a quick forward bend. You can adjust the hands. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Keep focusing in on the midline. So that means don't let your legs just flail out to the side. Keep the integrity squeezing into the core. And when you're ready, let's find our pigeon position. So walking the foot out to the opposite corner of the mat, lining your shin up either with the short edge of the mat or bringing the heel a little bit closer into the groin. We're going to hold this for 2 minutes. So get comfortable physically and mentally. Releasing any tension in the shoulders. Releasing any tension in the jaw. That's 1 minute. We'll hold it for 1 minute longer. Taking another few breaths here. The last few seconds here. And when you are ready, bring the hands back to your side. Inhale, lifting the upper body. And let's shift that leg back. Here we can do a few cat-cow or hip circles. Anything to bring movement, energy, prana back into the body, and prepare to do the same thing on the opposite side. So lining up the joints, lifting now the opposite leg, right leg. You can introduce the opposite arm if you're comfortable, just as a point of transition and stability. On your exhale, let's cross the knees behind each other, opening them up, the feet, and let the hips start to lob down. And either way, as long as you're feeling comfortable in the stretch, we'll hold this for 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. And take off. When you're ready, shift the weight forward. Loop that leg, whoopsie, all the way around. Come to the front corner of your mat, same corner as the same foot, and just wiggle into that front lunge. You can adjust yourself as you need, just for a few breaths. And when you're ready, let's walk the feet over to the side, the foot, unless you've got 2 up there. And find a position of comfort. Find a position that you can hold for 2 minutes. And when you're ready, bring the head down. And if the head doesn't touch, have a block here. Something very powerful about having pressure in the Ajna chakra. So however you can facilitate that for yourself, I would encourage you to locate it. And breathe. Relax the shoulders, relax your jaw, relax your hips. That's just over a minute. We'll hold it for a little bit less than a minute. And of course, at any time, if you need to adjust, feel free. But keeping in mind those 3 principles of yin: time, stillness, and your edge. That is our 2-minute time. When you're ready, gently begin to lift the head, walk the hands back. This time we'll just roll over onto the bent legs, hip, and coming into a Navasana, or a version modification. So just keeping the elbows wrapped in, keep the knees nice and tight. And if you're ready, if you're comfortable, start to get a little rocking motion, so nice and gentle. And once you've hit that edge, let it roll. Don't give yourself momentum to rock back up. Rather, stay down on the ground, plant the feet, arms to the side, little windshield wiper position, and really over-exaggerate, pushing the knees down, open the hips, feel that counter stretch from the pigeon, looking to the opposite direction, and follow your breath. One direction, the opposite direction.
Turning your head to look in the opposite direction of the knees. And when you are ready, we're going to come into Shavasana. So straightening your legs, your eyes closed, breath deep, heart open. Scanning through the body, releasing any tightness or tension as you exhale. Staying here for as long as you like. Otherwise, to release our Shavasana, very gently begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. Allow your head to turn to the left and to the right. Very slowly bending the knees and arms, wrapping around, rolling side to side, up and down, small circles, big circles, medium circles, or finding stillness. Whatever your body is desiring, just listen. And when you're ready, let's exhale to the right side. Right bicep comes up. In this original fetal yoga position, take a moment to send your energy to those who have helped you. Send your energy to those who need you. Allow a smile to come across the face, releasing endorphins from the practice, keeping the energy you need for yourself. And when you are ready, very gently coming up into a comfortably seated position. Take a moment to feel the effects of the practice on the body. Feeling any changes without judgment, without expectation, as opposed to how we felt a mere 60 minutes ago. It is traditional to close the class by chanting Om together 3 times. Join me by bringing your thumbs into the sternum, fingers separated. Feel the rhythm of your heart. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Atma Namaste. Thank you very much for your time, energy, and your practice. As a reminder, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the emotions. You are the light, you are the breath, you are what is, was, and always shall be.